interview one of my favorite products, one of my favorite guys here, Mr. Mark Clifton, PrincetonIdentity.com, formerly Stanford Research Institute, SRI, and great history on that kind of stuff. So a couple years ago, which used to be part of Stanford University way back in the day, and then you broke off, and now you got your own company going on here. And this is biometrics, and this is fascinating to me.
Yes.
Right? Now, usually we do it at the booth, and we have a little demonstration of the product. So we're going to have to visualize this and speak visual terms, especially for podcast people, right? But you got something new going on. First of all, you got a new website. So tell us about that.
We got a new website, and we actually have a short clip of the video we made of what our vision of the future is.
Oh, cool.
Which is basically you're going to, in the future, you're not going to need your wallet or your keys. You're going to buy everything with your eyes or your fingers or your face. And you're going to basically open doors. You're going to everything's going to be transacted.
Well,
with
I'm
your
not going to. I'm not going to have very much money with this face, so I'm kind of a little worried about that part of it. But it's an interesting concept, and it does make sense. So explain this. Let's talk about that.
So right now we're starting in the access control market.
Right.
But we basically have instant verification of you, who you are, using your irises today.
The iris.
Yes.
Not the retina.
Not the retina.
Okay, good.
Let's not mess that up.
That's right.
So yes, we do instant verification of who you are with the iris. It's easy to use. It's arm's length. It's easy. We're on the Galaxy phone.
Okay.
That's
right. I
the
remember,
Samsung phone.
That's right.
So we're on the Note 8 and the Galaxy 8, and so they're using our technology and the iris recognition.
Okay.
And so that's basically the one of the applications for consumers, but we're really in the B2B market right now in access control. And our Access 200 is a door access system. We also have a multimodal system that's doing fingerprint, face, and iris as you walk through, so it's an on-the-move system. We have some very interested people using that system.
It's very fast.
It's extremely fast.
I think I missed you. No, did I miss you last year? Because I broke my leg. I can't remember if I missed you.
ISC, you weren't there.
That's right.
Just when we launched our new product.
That's right. And when I saw it the year before, it was super fast then, so it's probably even better now.
It's instant. It really is instant. It really snaps your head how fast it is. And so that gives you the ability to basically enter places very quickly. You don't have to wait and things like that. But we see going into the point of sale market, the financial world as well. Everything's a transaction these days.
That's
Even
true.
Access to a building is a transaction.
A social media post is a transaction.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use this technology to turn your phone on and say, yeah, that's my Twitter account, and now I don't have any fake tweets going out. And no excuses for it, right?
No, it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can imagine just knowing who people are. I know in your previous interview you were talking about cybersecurity.
Right.
What's the first thing you do in cybersecurity? You want to know who the user is.
That's right.
With authenticate, you really want to authenticate the user.
I was a Black Hat, and I did about 90 interviews, and I can't remember the gentleman I spoke to, one of the cyber companies. And I was asking everybody, what keeps you up at night? And what do you worry about? And he says, I'm amazed the internet works. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, think about it. It's basically entirely a trust system.
Yes.
You have some passwords and a couple of things, but basically you just trust that what you're reading on the internet's true. You trust that that person you're speaking to is who you say they are. There's no authentication in 90% of it.
Right.
Literally, right? So with biometrics, I can see this vision where everything becomes authenticated.
Right.
But I got the big brother thing going on. I'm a little worried about that because as we talked about in previous shows, I'm worried about my iris and my fingerprint or my voice, whatever, becoming a file somewhere. And to me, it feels like it's my social security number.
So think about there's a few states that have actually enacted some laws around biometric collection.
Okay.
And so they're trying to basically get your consent before you allow your biometrics to be collected. And they put rules in there.
It's kind of fair, right?
So I think it's great
right.
Because it's really starting to turn the world, or at least the U.S., into the place where you own your own identity. And we think that's the future.
That's a good way to say it.
So when you own your own identity,
right.
you can control who you authenticate with, who you don't. And so I think that's the way it's going to go.
Okay, you flip me around on that. Because really, I'm worried about identity theft. And what is stolen in my identity now is my social security number, my address, my name.
Right.
If I have 2 points of identity, I can pretty much steal your identity. If I have 3 or 4, I can really steal your identity.
Right.
And trying to erase that and get that back is almost impossible to regain it.
Right.
But if the first step in you getting access to that information was my biometrics that are two or three-way, let's say.
That had been vetted.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you might be able to steal my iris file, maybe my fingerprint file, but are you going to steal 4 of my biometrics?
Right.
Pretty hard.
It's extremely hard.
Extremely hard. So I'm coming around on this. I like the way you're thinking on that. All right, so you're saying now in the future, we're going to walk up and just like Minority Report, I'm going to walk up, something's going to be red on my face. They're going to know who I am, and I'm going to say, I want that giant slushy right there. And I blink 3 times and it pays it or something. Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, whatever it is. Okay.
But you're going to have said that, my vision of the future, you're going to have said that I want to allow that biometric with that payment method.
Right.
I'm going to allow that connection.
And some of the laws are going to allow that to happen and verified. Right. Okay, all right.
So I think at least the U.S. is starting to go that way, and I think people will feel more secure if they're giving consent, if they're part of the process.
It does make sense.
Rather than, and I don't want to bang the big guys, but right now they're collecting all sorts of information.
Oh no,
about
that's
us.
true. Too much.
And I think if you own it, they should pay you for it if they want to get it.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so let's talk about what type of biometrics. I'm thinking your eyes, your fingerprint, your voice. Behavior is not really a biometric, but if you put behavior with the biometric, it's even more secure.
You can connect a lot of the dots that
what
way.
What biometrics am I not thinking about? Are we going to get to DNA eventually? We could, I suppose.
There's a rapid, the FBI has funded a rapid DNA program. They're able to do DNA in less than 2 hours now.
Wow.
So that's coming too. Pretty soon they'll have instant DNA.
Well, if you took my, and I've had my DNA test, right? So I know where my ancestors came from. And the DNA really just translates into a giant 100,000 digit number in theory, which could be like an encryption key. And I guess that could be unique to you. You could digitize it.
Of course.
And then you're not really stealing any physical DNA. It's just a digital version. Are we going to look at DNA for another biometric eventually?
Maybe. But
is there some flaw in it that I'm not thinking of?
Well, okay, so identical twins have the same DNA.
Oh, okay.
But they don't have the same iris.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So your iris is the same from about age 3. And so you could take an enrollment at that age and you could keep it for a lifetime. And identical twins would be different.
Right.
And we've proven that actually at our booth.
Wow. Now, what do you like, personally, what do you like as your favorite biometric?
Well, that's easy, iris.
Is it? Okay. All right.
Well, you don't leave it. Fingerprint's always going to be around because you actually leave it behind when you drink a glass of water.
Oh, that's true, right.
So the FBI is always going to use fingerprint for forensic use. You leave your face around on CCTV cameras these days, right? So your face, but you don't leave your iris around.
Okay.
So there's it's a little bit harder to use that as a forensic, but I do believe for instant verification for security, you're going to see that as a big application.
Are you worried about somebody getting so good that we can walk past a scanner and not even know it, and somebody steals my iris?
Well, they could. That can happen.
Okay.
But I think some of these laws that are being enacted will prevent that.
Okay.
So you're starting to see that reaction. And Europe, they basically, they have a national ID card. They have their biometric on that card. I envision a future where you have a card or something like that, and you use it for one-to-one verification. So you're not storing all the biometrics in one big, honeypot for hackers. So I see that coming too.
We started this. You were one of my first remote shows, 3 years ago, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
And this is just. It's moving so fast forward. It's amazing.
It's scary.
It is a little scary. It is a little scary. Yeah, but it's very interesting. Mark Clifton, PrincetonIdentity.com is the website, and check out their new video that talks about a future where your face is buying your pizza. It'll be very interesting to see how that works. So, what's your booth number?
2847.
2847. That's on this floor tomorrow. Boy, I'm getting tired. I was going to say you're live on the floor. You better be live, or we got a problem.
I'll be live.
You'll be on the ASIS Expo floor tomorrow at that booth. So check them out. And he gives you a really cool demonstration where he actually does it in real time. And you can walk up to that thing and just stand in front of it, and boom, that door opens. It's really fascinating. All right, a couple more interviews here for a Monday at ASIS 2017 in Dallas, Texas. And we'll be back in a little while on SecurityGuideTV.com. Thanks.